A little closer.
My name is Shar Penny, and I am with the Lents Neighborhood Livability Association. I would like to address the current homeless situation. After attending several meetings with the city leaders, I understand our real problem is not homeless, but a large criminal element, with either drug addiction problems or mental illness, which you have no solution for. We can get them arrested and held for 2 to 3 hours, or if it is a mental health crisis, up to 3 days. However, that is the extent of your services. If we find an individual who is actually ready to go into services, there are none available. The county purchased a dilapidated building downtown at the expense of $5.8 million for this purpose, but it is going to take between $16.5 to $21.5 million to renovate it into usable space, and how many months? Then again, there is no money to actually hire the social workers needed to run it. You need to start looking at real workable solutions, not these temporary low-barrier shelters that are placed in neighborhoods. If you're going to be serious about solutions, you need a facility away from the crime and drugs available to these people who are going through recovery. Placing them in an area that they can just walk outside and get whatever vice they are looking for will never address the problem. Time to look at facilities outside the city where you can house the people with mental health issues and drug addiction. Put the people with drug addiction in a 1-year recovery program with a requirement of not only drug rehab, but useful skills to get them back into the workforce. Work with the mentally ill to get them on the right medications and supervision. Some of these people can never be released back into society depending on their mental disability. It is not humane to leave them out wandering the streets in a fragile state of mind. I've witnessed these folks dig tunnels, build structures, landscape with minimal tools and equipment. Think about what they could accomplish with real tools. Stop giving these folks a handout and start giving them a hand up. For the cost of a facility like Harbor of Hope, somewhere outside the city, you could house not only social workers but medical staff. If these people were housed and off the street, you would be building trust within your community, showing us that you are actually addressing the problem. Right now, we are just playing whack-a-mole. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Go ahead.
Good morning, Multnomah County Commissioners. My name is David Potts, and I'm with the Lents Neighborhood Livability Association. When I moved here 40 years ago, it was largely because Portland, like all of Oregon, was clean, green, and beautiful. It was a great city in which to raise a family. The streets were safe and clean. We voluntarily recycled. Presently, my wife and I spend several hours every week picking up trash along the streets in our neighborhood. When we pick up on Friday, there will be more trash by Saturday. I'm often asked, why do you even bother? My answer is that to do nothing is worse. Broken furniture, remodeling waste, and yard debris are regularly dumped on all of our streets. Some of this is from outdoor people, but the bulk of it comes from people littering from their cars or saving the cost of a $30 dump fee. This is being done by a large number of people who have no respect for their neighbors or their city. Our elected officials are focused on the homeless issue and would have us believe that all of our ills are due to the housing crisis. It's not that simple. They use this is used as an excuse to ignore the continuing erosion of livability in our city and county. Pervasive littering is only a symptom of larger issues being totally ignored. When our entire justice system, from policing to prosecution and incarceration, is so overtaxed and underfunded, it feels like nothing short of murder is enforced. The criminal element is well aware of this fact, and we are on the brink of total lawlessness. In the 1980s, Portland discovered it had a gang problem. While it was no doubt rooted in poverty, we did not declare a poverty crisis and attempt to solve it by building subsidized housing complexes and locating shelters in residential neighborhoods. Until we address the breakdown of civil behavior in Portland, there will be no improvement in livability, regardless of our housing efforts. If you don't care enough about livability enough to even comment on illegal littering or dumping, so be it. Maybe a few more of us can clean that mess up. Do you care that people are assaulted in broad daylight and the offenders are at best caught and released? If you will not devote the resources to make our neighborhoods safe, will we also have to take policing and justice into our own hands as well? When do we get some help? Opening another shelter or subsidized housing complex will not restore what you have chosen to ignore for years. You need to reconsider your priorities before we descend into utter chaos. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.